Hey, what's up, guys? Mr. Castro here. I usually do this at school, but obviously we're not at school. And so, about 12 years ago, I participated in the poetry slam that we had at school. And of course, me loving history, me not being the most awesome poet, I kind of put something together. And that poem that year, I dedicated it to my AP students. And then the following year, I kind of added to it, and then continuous and continuous. And so, in keeping with the tradition, I usually like to do it about 3 or 4 weeks outside of the AP exam. We kind of are hitting the nuts and bolts in terms of review. So I wanted to kind of profess my love to you guys again by reading my poem to you, right? So bear with me and I'll upload a copy of it so you guys can have it too. To my students, I am the Arawak Indians, for their only sin in life was being ignorant to European greed. I am Bartolomé de las Casas for being the voice of the Indians in the New World when their tongues and lies are being strangled. I am the English indentured servant because I share with them what it means to be an immigrant. I am Abigail Adams for reminding her husband that women need to be heard even if she only whispered. I am Margaret Wright, who said women should not want to be the equals of men if it meant bombing innocent people in Vietnam. I am every Cherokee whose blood was spilled while Andrew Jackson got his face on the $20 bill. I am Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Cady Stanton because we hold these truths to be self evident that all men and women are created equal. I am the Anti Imperialist League for recognizing that imperialism and freedom are not one and the same. I am Crispus Attuck, were he white, he would be recognized as a hero of the Revolutionary War. I am Jacob Riis because a picture speaks louder than words. I am Bob Dylan and Joanne Baez for reminding us that music can inspire and soothe the soul. I am the Black Panthers, Huey Newton, Fred Hampton, Bobby Seeley, and Eldridge Cleaver. I am Angela Davis, mother of the Black Panther movement. I am John Carlos and Tommy Smith, barefoot and black fist in the air, but most of all black. I am Thomas Paine, author of the American Revolution. I am Benjamin Banneker, who stood tall next to Thomas Jefferson. I am the Lowell girls, who did not know better and who had no choice. I am the Triangle Waste Company girls, martyrs in the fight for factory reform. I am Benjamin Sasway for speaking out against U.S. involvement in El Salvador. I am Ray Benavides, Vietnam veteran and Medal of Honor recipient, raped of his soul by Reaganomics. I am Carl Bernstein and Bob Woodward, Watergate muckrakers. I am the Little Rock Nine, for a minority of nine carried more courage than a majority of hate. I am the Stonewall Riders, because love conquers hate. I am Sandra Day O'Connor because her courage on the bench etched a path for future female justices. I am Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the notorious RBG, for at 5'1" she is a giant in the fight for progressivism. I am Francis Perkins for reminding FDR that the colored line needed to be moved. I am Horace Mann, abolitionist and believer in the importance of public education. I am W.E.B. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington, fathers of the civil rights movement. I am Franklin D. Roosevelt because we should all have empathy for the needy. I am Eleanor Roosevelt, the soul behind the man. I'm Thaddeus Stevens and the immortal words of the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments. I am Fred Korematsu for the voice of reason during one of America's darkest periods. I am Emma Willard because women need to remember that they are not the satellites of men. I am Harnett Hunt and Elizabeth Blackwell for continuing to practice medicine when men told them they could not. I am Dorothy Bolden for giving a voice to domestic workers. I am the Bonus Army for demanding what they had earned. I am James Baldwin for reminding us that to criticize America is to love America. I am Lucy Stone and Antoinette Brown for equating education to black freedom. I am John Brown, even if he was a fanatical abolitionist, he was God sent. I'm Upton Sinclair, because it's a jungle out there. I'm Stokely Carmichael, father of Black Power. I'm the students at the Woolworth counter. I am every African American in Montgomery, Alabama, who for 382 days walked. I am Thurgood Marshall in the beautiful words of Brown versus the Board of Education. I am the 442 Army Regiment for truly defending democracy. I am Robert Frost for teaching us that for taking the road less traveled is the choice of true leaders. I am Dr. Seuss for writing about what each of us needed, healing. I am Malcolm X because his name represents the struggle of most blacks in this country to know who they are. I am Martin Luther King Jr. because my children and my students are my cause. I am the Mexican braceros who, like women, held the country together during World War II. I am Cesar Chavez because we must remember that civil disobedience is not inaction. I am Dolores Huerta because she was the mother to the farm workers movement. I am Daniel Ellsberg for not being afraid to tell the truth about America's involvement in Vietnam. I am Father Philip Kerrigan, Tom Lewis, and John Mango, true blood brothers in the opposition to the war in Vietnam. I am Noam Chomsky for exposing the media for what has become the fourth branch of the government. I am Chief Powhatan, Crazy Horse, Sitting Bull, and Chief Joseph, Chief Luther, Standing Bear, Geronimo, and John Collier, a reminder that America has some healing to do. I am Margaret Mead because she reminds us to never doubt that a small group of committed citizens can change the world. I am Harriet Tubman and Harriet Beecher Stowe, two beacons of light on opposite ends of the Underground Railroad. I am Ernesto El Che Guevara for reminding us an injustice to one is an injustice to all. I am Eugene Debs, father of the proletariat. I am Angelina and Sarah Gramke, voice for the voiceless. I am Frederick Douglass for teaching us that freedom fought for is more precious than freedom given. I am Ralph Waldo Emerson for teaching us that we each have a personal light to transcend. I am Henry David Thoreau for reminding us that civil disobedience keeps democracy alive. I am Rachel Carson, Mother Earth in the flesh. I am Daniel Shea, the true inspiration behind the Jeffersonian reminder that the tree of liberty must be refreshed with the blood of patriots and tyrants from time to time. I met Scott Fitzgerald for reminding us that we should value people and not things. I'm Jack Kerouac, a cool cat who taught us that conformity is not cool, man, can you dig it? I am William Lloyd Garrison, who taught us that white men could be trusted. I am Emma Goldman, feminist and unionist. I am Helen Keller, because what she was missing in sight and sound, she did not lack in soul. I am Clara Barton, the angel of the battlefield. I am everyone who's betrayed by our government at Ludlow, Colorado. I am Ernest Hemingway, for his words remind us of who the heroes are in war. I am Rudolfo Corky Gonzalez, because I am also Joaquin. I am Langston Hughes, for reminding us that blackness is the soul of our country. I am Anne Hutchinson, early American revolutionary. I am the Irish and the Chinese, the first scapegoats. I am Mother Jones, who taught us that at 70 it is never too late to speak up for people. I am Jane Addams, mother on the lips of inner city youth. I am Robert Kennedy, because we should all believe that as long as there is plenty, poverty is evil. I am all the blood and courage that was spilled in Selma. I am Rosa Parks, who reminds us that the soul is the seat of the mind. I am Robert Lafayette, the most progressive of the progressives. I am Abraham Lincoln, because I have never loved someone I do not know as much. I am Muhammad Ali, whose selfless act taught us that black people in the U.S. had more in common with common Vietnamese person. I am Cindy Nguyen, Alicia Pennington, and Esther Ayurende, three former students blazing a path and defining for themselves what it means to be a woman. I am Margaret Sanger, feminist for her time. I am Dred Scott, Nat Turner, Emmett Till, and the Scottsboro Boys, martyrs for a better tomorrow. I am Oliver Brown, for you weren't just being a great father to Linda, but to all of us. I am John Steinbeck, for his words inspire us to overcome. I am the Freedom Riders, because racism and violence have nothing on miles of courage. I am Sojourner Truth, who asked, "Ain't I a woman?" No, you're an angel of freedom. I am the 19th Amendment, because my female students need to understand that they do not need the approval of men. I am Bessie Coleman for teaching us that you don't need a license to have wings. I am Mark Twain, who reminds us that a man who does not read good books has no advantage over a man who cannot read good books. I am Saul Williams, because hip-hop is not broken, it is simply heartbroken. I am Jose Marti, because these verses spill from my soul. I am the children of Birmingham whose courage filled jails. I am Bob Marley, because I want to free myself from mental slavery. I am Anne Frank, because I must believe human beings not only have the capacity for good, they are good. I am Ella Fitzgerald, because we will smell the effects of strange fruit. I am the Marquis de Lafayette, because I yearn for an America that embraces freedom. I am Sophie and Hans Scholl, because they had the courage and faith to stare down death and laugh. I am Sir Edmund Burke, because my only true enemy in life is evil. I am Arthur Miller, for being our nation's conscience. I am A. Philip Randolph, the forgotten member of the Civil Rights Movement. I am Morgan Spurlock, for teaching us that there are still members of the media that are allies of democracy. I am Mario Savio, because more of us need to throw our bodies upon the machine. I am Albert Einstein, because I too believe that the ultimate goal of education should be the achievement of social justice. I am Benjamin Franklin, for helping me find God and the idea that God is simple, be good, and love your fellow man. I am Cervantes, because I too am a lost knight. I am Simón Bolívar and Toussaint Louverture for believing in Latino America. I am Alice Walker, because I want to break down all barriers at once. I am Isaac Woodard, because losing his eyes made him realize that the civil rights fight was right in front of him. I am Medgar Evers, and every black student who got to attend the University of Mississippi because of him. I am Stephen Van Zandt for reminding us that the race we all belong to is human. I am Harvey Milk because he reminds us that there are still empty seats to be filled at freedom's table. I am Pablo Neruda for reminding us to choke life for its last breath. I am Elie Wiesel for reminding us that the ally of evil is indifference. I am Maya Angelou because even though I feel knocked down, I rise. I am Steve Connell because I am an American and I refuse to remain silent. I am Betty Friedan, Gloria Steinem, Shirley Criswell, and Bella Ausbug for being giants in the modern women's movement. I am Plato because I can only hope you each have the courage to go back into the cave. I am the 43 of Iguala Guerrero because you may kill the revolutionary but not the revolution. I am Niyo Sundari because my songs are of change. I am Thomas Jefferson because we all want to be idealists in this human world. I am Howard Zinn for breathing life into my soul and teaching me to listen to the voices of injustice. I am history because it teaches us that it is much more rewarding to be an active participant. I am every selfless teacher at this school. I am my students, for they inspire my verses. Most importantly, I am your teacher, and I love you. So again, just a little poem for you guys. I'll upload the video plus the actual words. Use it to study. Use it for whatever you need during this time or any time. I love you.